mother effer. I almost had it. Welcome to The Hang with Mike and Matt.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Matt.
I got to adjust this.
SC Radio, subscribe to Prime. Thank you, SC Radio. Too hot? Is it too hot for you? Too low. Hang on a second. Oh, you got it. You need check 1 2. Sorry, I made everything silent while you're checking your volume.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Somebody turned it down. So
how are we?
I said SC Radio. Subscribe. Did I not, or did I forget that?
You did say.
Thank you very much, SC Radio. Subscriptions through the roof. The Hang is. It's everybody's favorite show.
Can you believe it? Of all the things.
So we're trying to think of ways to thwart that. We've been discussing doing different times. It's going to be a pop-up show.
Yeah, like we don't want to be this much on the radar.
Yeah, we're trying to stay straight. Like if you know, you know. You can be part of the Hang Club. It'd be way cooler than all those people that don't know about the Hang.
Like I legit want to do just like a 2 a.m. pop-up show.
And then next week, Saturday at 9 a.m.
Yes, we'll keep everybody guessing. This Wednesday every week at the same time is
it's catching on. It's catching on.
Yeah.
Catch on. People say that wait all week for it and stuff. No, we're just hanging.
Yeah,
we're hanging.
It doesn't matter what day or time. We will hang at our own time at a time of our own choosing.
Our leisure.
Isn't it great when what do the U.S. always say? We will strike at a time and a place of our choosing. That's the hang. We will hang at a time and a place of our choosing.
That's right.
Right now, it just happens to be Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock. It probably will be for a while, but
could change. You never know.
See, I forgot we were talking about dropping the deuce last week. That's paying for two years of subscription to the Hang, which doesn't really exist right now. We don't have a subscription-based deal, but that's what it will consist of. When you drop the deuce, and what else do you get?
The bottle of bourbon, custom labeled.
The Hang bourbon.
The Hang bourbon.
We got to come up with a logo, and now we've Matt came up with something else, which is one of the. This is the pièce de résistance. The cuck ring.
That's right. That's right. If you drop the deuce, you also get a very special ring.
It's not a cock ring.
No, it's not it's a cuck ring. It's
we haven't decided on the final design, but it's gonna be.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. So thanks for everybody who tunes into the Hang, tunes in live, catches us. excuse me, on Spotify, catches us on Twitch videos, catches the Hang OT on ClusterFshow.com. Boy, last week's was my favorite overtime episode when we dissected that article.
That was a lot of fun.
I mean, I forgot to have Trace. I wanted him to read the article.
Oh, no way!
So maybe I'll just do it. Do it on Cluster F tomorrow.
Yeah, please do, because it's really
jaw dropping,
fascinating, right?
Yeah, it was my favorite. It was just it just made me happy. That coincidence, that weird, eerie synchronicity,
so odd.
I was just like, you don't see that often.
No.
That dead ball's on. Yeah, it's like crazy. So
yeah. You can subscribe to ClusterFshow.com and listen to it and kind of get a vibe for what we're talking about.
Yeah, we get a little loose from the OT.
Did we?
We don't have to worry about saying. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah,
we could. I mean, we should.
That'd be a problem.
I mean,
it would be a problem.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not really cancelable at this point. Like, I could say something on a platform, but like if I had a website and said something, there's nothing that anybody can do to me.
Right.
See, yeah, you are cancelable, my friend.
Well, I started a new job, so it's no big deal. It's all good.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So
congratulations.
Thanks. So whatever. Or did I start a new job? Who knows? It doesn't matter.
K5.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, just K5 on the work. That's really a shoot. So people now they think it's a work, right? Or do they think it's a shoot?
So I started my own company.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's going swimmingly. We just it's a whole thing.
I'd like to invest. I just want to let you know. I believe in you, Matt.
Perfect. I don't know when the last time. Like, I know it's been a week since we hung or hanged, whatever that would be. I don't know. What would that be? Hanged? Since we hung out. But if it would just want to hung, would it just be hung?
How long has it been since you guys? See, I've never heard anybody say anything other than hung out.
Yeah.
They never say just hung.
Hang.
There's hung. Since you guys hung. I don't think so. Since you guys hanged.
Well,
that sounds stupid.
It does sound stupid.
but you have been hanged.
Yeah.
You know, if they hang you from a tree, you've been hanged from a tree. So, I don't know.
We're both idiots, man.
We don't know. I mean, I didn't get that far in my English classes.
Well, my question is did I see you? Did we talk about OJ passing away? Has it been over? Like we didn't even touch on it.
Did we mention it or not? See, I don't remember the shows at all.
It's
just hanging. I was like, why would I remember hanging? Just had a good time, and then I move on.
Yeah, no, I don't think we. But But he didn't talk. Did he pass away less than a week ago? Did we just not see each other since then?
No, it's been a week and a half.
So we
missed. Yeah,
didn't talk about OJ at all.
Didn't talk about him at all. I don't know what we talked about was more timely than OJ Simpson dying.
The fact that in my office, I have 2 pictures up, and that is one of them. Is just me and OJ. It's classic.
Did we talk about OJ last week? Because I know we did on Cluster F, so don't get confused. Because I'm confused because I know I talked about it, but that was on Cluster F, or probably Ned in your head because Ned had a song about it.
I guess it doesn't matter. I was just curious.
We didn't talk about it. Or?
Yeah, I was just curious.
It just seems like something we would talk. I mean,
totally does.
O.J. Simpson, but the comedy and the material and that whole the trial of the century.
Maybe we talked about it in the OT. I don't know. Well, he's gone. So
and he did it.
Those NDAs that those people had to sign to come visit him. That had to be. Yeah, maybe that's. Maybe that's the move.
To visit him when
on his deathbed he had people sign.
They say he died alone.
Well, but he had people come visit him,
and they had to sign NDAs.
Yeah. At least that was the.
What, are you going to get
rumor.
Sued by his estate?
Well, it could have been one of those things where you got somebody you love, care about, blah blah blah, and then the last thing he says, "Come here, I'll tell you something. I did it." But you signed an NDA, so you can't say anything.
The final rib by OJ. You
right?
gotta like OJ. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I literally, when I saw that NDA, that's the only thing I'm thinking is like clearly these people walking into the room and he's going, I did it. And that's his final act.
Come closer.
Come here. Come closer. Remember you signed the NDA, right? Come here. I did it.
That guy's perfect.
I cut that bitch. Here's how I did it.
That Coleman guy too.
Well, can you imagine if you just went into gruesome detail with everybody who signed an NDA and there's like, by the way, you can't say shit. And then just croaks. I don't know if I'd be able to keep that a secret. I mean, I have some NDAs in my life that I have to abide by, but that one might be too much for me to hold in.
What's a dead person's NDA got? What kind of clout? I mean, so he's got maybe he says you sign.
I don't know.
You got to sign this NDA, and you're not getting none of the money from my estate,
or I'll kill you
for like a year. I don't know why would you care?
I don't know. I could be totally off.
No, it's really.
It just seemed like a plausible.
I could see that
theory.
It's really demented.
It's totally OJ, right? I mean, he was a charmer. Or what if the NDA was like, "Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, for real, I didn't do it."
Why wouldn't you want that out?
Because he's already been acquitted. Nobody, and who's going to believe him at that point? Well, okay, what would happen is they would go, "Hey, I just met with OJ on his deathbed. He made me sign an NDA, but I'm breaking it right now and letting you know." His final words were, "I didn't do it." Everyone would be like, okay, he's still doing that.
I mean, I can see him doing that, and because he 100% lying. He did it, and he's just like his last breath is, "I didn't do it." Why? Why do you?
He's in full Costanza. It's not a lie if you believe it mode until the bitter end.
You don't ever have these deathbed confessions.
Or do you?
Nobody tells.
I mean, hasn't with the JFK assassination, hasn't there been like, I don't know, 20 different people that have been like, let me tell you something about the truth of it. And then, nobody believes them anyways. Or if they do believe them, it gets so buried so quickly that nobody really, it's like, Oh yeah, another deathbed confessional for JFK.
That's how it works.
Yeah, and then people just move on.
I mean, it's like, okay, 20. I don't know how many years ago it was. Like around 20, a little more than 20, when we went to war with Iraq. Now it's common knowledge that there were no weapons of mass destruction. Colin Powell was holding up some turmeric, and it was all fake, and we went in there to make billions for the military-industrial complex, and that's not a thing that anybody go get in trouble for.
Yeah, I mean,
so the JFK thing could come out, and people would be like, "Yeah, CIA killed him. I got to get to work." See, what are you gonna fucking do?
In this day and age, I don't know anybody who thinks the CIA didn't kill him. Like, it's more plausible to the American public right now, knowing all the crap and how messed up these government agencies are. It's more plausible now to where the people go, "Oh yeah, government did it." Like,
exactly,
if you were to poll 10 people, who did it? The government or the gentleman they accused? And I would venture to say you'd probably be batting 70% of people who would say the government before the accused.
You might be right. And here's what I think now. I think that if something happened at this election, something's going to happen the next 6 months.
Oh, you're waiting for something to pop. I think everybody's waiting for something to pop off, right?
So if something happened where one of these guys got, something happened to him, 50% of the population would think it was like a government hit, and 50% would think the exact opposite. Because even though they would believe the JFK thing, people ain't believing nothing that doesn't go along with their views now. That's what I think. That's why they've done this.
You're right.
Because people are so divided. I don't think there's anything that could make somebody who's a Trump supporter, believe anything good about Biden, and vice versa.
No, you're right. And look, I'll be honest. If something like that were to go down, I would just immediately go, I'd be on the side of, government probably had something to do with it. Like, it just seems the more plausible theory these days. It's just,
I mean, if you think that, like, this back in the day that the CIA did that with JFK, well, think of how much more powerful the CIA has grown.
Oh my God!
And how many years is that? 50 years or 60 years? And how more corrupt? Things don't get less corrupt the bigger they get; they get more. So there's no way that whoever wins the president isn't going to fully support the CIA, because they're going to come to him and say, "You better support the CIA." And they show you the Zapruder film, and you're like, "All right."
Yeah. Dude, the best was the other day, or not the best. I don't want to say the best, because that's not a good way of putting it. A funny thing I saw was the feds raided that guy who was a January 6th rioter here locally.
Yeah, I saw him.
And I mean, federal agents everywhere. Storming the place, guns, the whole thing.
In full military, not just the regular.
Right.
I mean, they got camo stuff on. Yes. Like, I don't know.
Really put on a show.
They're not in the jungle, but they got the camo stuff on. They're suited and booted. They got, everything weapon imaginable. And how many of them are there? 50 of them?
Something crazy. Some crazy amount for a guy who, participated. Okay, whether you're for or against the January 6th, like, it doesn't even matter.
It does matter, but it does matter.
Well, but do you need to bring that sort of showmanship to that situation? I think the feds just love showmanship. Trust me, I know. They just like this idea of going, look at us. We all got our jackets on, and they got the...
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
They got the 3 letters on them. Be scared of us. And people are. I am. I'm terrified of them. But like, it's... but did they need all that? Did they need all that?
Oh, there's so many things about what you said. Like...
Sorry.
No, the reason that they're so suited and booted now is, they don't want you talking to your neighborhood cop all chummy and everything. They, that's not cool. They and when you dress like that,
oh, bro,
you
power
feel
trip.
like such a bad. If I was walking around like that, I'd be like, come on, bring it,
bro,
bring it.
Yeah, if I had a jacket with the 3 letters on the back, that's game over. Everybody, you walk into a restaurant, everybody's like,
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It's
and the January 6th thing. They come after this guy with 50 armed, suited, and booted federal agents when all he did was he was at January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a violent protester, and then he missed his court date, which you got to get arrested for that. Yep. I'm in full agreement with arresting people that miss, but nobody basically he was guilty of a misdemeanor, and you send 50 federal agents. That's to telling you, don't even think of protesting.
Yes,
we got facial recognition, and if you were at the protest against whatever the next big protest is, we're coming to your house and putting you in jail for 2 years.
Well, let me ask you this too. Thinking about it, watching that footage, there was a helicopter above that they had footage of, right?
Yeah.
So where does this helicopter appear from? Who, it's footage that's on the news of a helicopter above a raid as federal agents are approaching the door with guns.
Yeah.
How would a news helicopter know to be above that particular spot at that particular time as agents are charging with weapons drawn, unless it was for show? Because you would never, you can't tip off anybody. You can't tip off the media, hey, be there, we're going to make a super secret raid. You can't do that. Unless they do tip off the media.
And they do. Because it's all for show, and they really, they hope the guy doesn't get away, but it's worth it because they got to get this
footage.
That's great PR. Great PR. I want to be a federal agent now, actually. So I've seen some of these videos. I'm like, man, looks like a pretty cushy gig. You arrest a bunch of cupcakes. 50 guys.
Cupcakes. Put me on the January 6th cases. All those guys, I'm cool. I'll take all those cases off your hands.
Yeah, those milk toast.
I'll knock on the door and be like, hey, you missed a protest.
If whatever you believe, you think it was an insurrection. It was the most pathetic insurrection in the history of insurrections. They didn't even bring any guns. How do you expect to win an insurrection? It's preposterous to think that it was insurrection when nobody brought a gun.
I don't know. Look, I don't want to get too political in that term, but
isn't that just comedy? They used to be able to make jokes about this stuff. It's an insurrection with no guns, ha ha. But now it's just like, you said it wasn't an insurrection.
Well, it's weird that there were guns, and the person that got shot was a female who
shouldn't have been there, should she? She shouldn't have been there. What's her business breaking into the Capitol and trying to overthrow an election?
I gotta tell you, watching that video of her unfortunately lose her life in a terrible situation.
Oh my God.
It's awful, right? But the dude doing the shooting, look, bro, you're telling me you couldn't handle that chick any different than the way it went? That's the way you handled it, dude?
He got acquitted.
Of course he did, because he's got, the government on his side, right?
It's insane.
And if I were him, I probably would have been a little fearful at that moment in time. What's going on? Hey, whoa, what's happening here? And I maybe would have drew my weapon.
Yeah,
but I don't know if
it looked like an angry mom trying to break in.
But she did not look like the angriest one. Let's put it that way.
No, he fired into a group of 12 people, all packed tight. That was the most irresponsible shooting ever.
It felt like a bit excessive for that.
Was he even aiming at her? There was
he should have gone old school and shot it up at the ceiling. Go on now. This is a warning shot.
I think that would have been effective. Yeah, I think I'd stop me.
Yeah, be like, oh, he's serious. He's got a gun and he shot it up in the air.
I hear a shot. I'm like, let's get him. Let's break in. Fuck, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, this stuff's getting real.
It's getting real. Yeah. It's such a it's a terrible time in America for the media and for people trying to tell jokes and stuff. When half the people would just get pissed off at your jokes because they've got allegiance to some scumbag political party on either side. It's like, fuck off.
I know.
Yeah.
But we support Israel and we're understanding of the Palestinian situation.
But really, we understand the Israeli situation a little more. It's just complex.
If we're weighing the scales of justice, Israel's got to protect itself.
It's not a toss-up, but Israel eked out a victory. Podcast media cheered 100 bits.
Hey.
Andy Podcast Media 2023. I mean, whatever you're doing, Podcast Media, I mean, you want to offer a multi-year deal.
Ooh.
We are the cat's meow right now.
That's right. We are the cat's meow.
We should have kept up Let's Talk Pussy. Tell you it's the niche is what it is, buddy. The niche.
Yeah.
There's this podcast I've heard about called the Meat Eaters. And I've heard of them, and I was like, wow, it's a niche. You got to get a niche.
Yeah, you do. You do. Our niche is hanging. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
For now.
How do we get a hold of other people who like to hang?
Well, here's the problem I find. If we were to go into a niche of anything in particular, we'd have to be real experts at that particular niche, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, if you're going to go into this, you should probably know a lot about it. I don't necessarily know if there's anything you or I know such a tremendous amount of knowledge on that, like, nobody could even steel man the arguments that we're giving out because our information is so solid and so like you said, like a Meat Eaters or like a barbecue show or something. Like there's people.
No, it's about the woods too. It's hunting.
But I'm just saying in general, like there's
meat in
people
general.
that know that. I don't know what's a subject that you know so much about besides producing bits. I mean, talk about niche.
Boy, for the 62 guys out there in the country that are producing bits. Oh, about that, yeah.
But honestly, like expertise wise, like we know either a little bit about a lot or a decent amount of lot, right? I feel like we're pretty well versed, but not well versed enough to.
Everybody thinks they can be, a radio star, and now it's just like an influencer. So I mean, we are expertise. We are experts at becoming famous radio personalities.
I thought you were going to say we're going to become influencers. I was like, all right.
I'm trying.
Man, you know who are the original influencers for real? Think about this.
Yeah.
Cult leaders. If cult leaders had any sort of like podcasting now or any sort of platforming. Oh my.
David Koresh streaming?
Bro.
What?
Think about what he got people to do.
He'd be the king of the country right now.
What if he'd get a stream and then they'd be like, it's not really picking up any steam. He's like, but I'm so good at this. Like I'm so
good.
I've got a house full of people that believe me. Like why can't I break through on the internet?
I think he'd break through. I wonder about there's probably cults out there you don't even know. Streaming cults.
Dude, that's the move.
Let's start a cult. The hang cult.
Done.
I mean, it's very, you want to be part of a cult.
What do we believe in?
Hanging.
That's such a quick answer, and it makes the most sense.
And so we can budget this show for the first year by people dropping the deuce, dropping the deuce, which gets you a 2-year subscription. It gets you the cuck ring. It gets you, what's the other one? I can't remember.
The bourbon.
Oh, I'm like, how can I forget that? What do you call it? The private label?
Private label, lower tier.
No.
Oh. I mean, upper top shelf.
I'm melting the candle over the thing, over everyone.
Yes, this candle has been personally melted.
Let's seal a condom over we'll have some kind of gimmick. It's worth it.
I got it. You smoke weed, all right? You open the cap, and then you blow your weed smoke into every bottle and cap it. So it's smoked weed bourbon.
I don't know if people want to inhale my.
Look, either you want to inhale greatness or you don't.
I think they do.
I don't know.
I think that's people might want to do that a little too much.
Just inhale the greatness.
Oh my God, the slogans keep coming.
Thank you. Maybe I do need a marketing show.
There you go. I like that. So if just to not that many, it's $200. It's to drop the dues. Just 1,000 people, it's 1,000 people.
Just in theory,
like $1,000, just 1,000. Then that'll budget the show for the first year. Just $200,000. Yeah, I think that's the minimum budget you can have for an upper tier show.
Yes,
like ours. So we're working on that.
Yep, and the cuck rings are really going to be special.
I'm gonna assign you the cuck rings, and I'm gonna work on the
smoking the weed and blowing it into a bourbon bottle.
Bourbon. coming up with a lower tier bourbon vendor that I can buy it from. I may actually be buying just like, what's the lowest shelf and then pouring into the fancy decanters with the logo and blowing the weed smoke in.
Dude, the fancy decanter, you can get away with anything with a fancy decanter. Like, you can just tell people that, oh, yeah, this is what's in it. Like, how are they going to know? And, the amount of people that have a palate that are, I mean, none of my friends have that kind of palate. And if somebody came over and questioned me, like, bro, I know this is Jack Daniels. Don't play this off for, Johnny Blue or something like that. I'd be like, you don't know anything. It's Johnny Blue. You have no idea what you're talking. And how are they going to challenge that?
They're not going to.
That's right.
I'd like to do that. That's a great rib. You get I'd like to be able to get one of these fancy smanchy guys and do a tasting with him and say, oh, I've got some of the finest, and then throw some rot gut in there and see if he's like, this is exquisite. The bouquet of the rose.
Well, isn't it sad that how long have you been drinking alcohol?
Long time.
Okay, long time. Isn't it sad that speaks to us? Is like you don't know the difference at all?
I don't.
Like, that's kind of the worst part about it.
I mean, they'll say, well, the good stuff is much smoother. It's like, I don't know. Like, if I do a shot of Jack Daniels, or I'd be $1,000 bottle, I'm still going.
Yeah, it still burns going down.
Still burn. I don't know. But
we got chat.
Oh no, I'm just catching up. Blind Lawrence in the house.
Hey, BL.
We didn't go over. Did we go over his things?
We did.
Okay.
On the VIP
I don't
for
remember.
the ClusterFshow.com.
Remember the OJ stuff? I don't remember the.
Yeah.
But thank you, Blind Lawrence.
Thank you.
He's an encyclopedia.
Yeah, he is.
Of knowledge.
Treasure trove.
A treasure trove.
I did a daddy-daughter dance last week for the first time.
Yeah. I never did one. Never had. They never had one anywhere my daughter went. So, how was it? No, I don't know what to say.
So it was at a church.
Oh, okay.
Didn't
so
know
that's
it was
not
going to be at a
be,
church.
That probably changes things.
Was unaware. It was nice. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, the thought behind it, the sense, everything's like it was in that term nice. But I'm just so cynical, and I just look at things differently when I walk into a room. I'm looking at things that perhaps maybe other people don't notice. Right. So I walk into this like church hall.
Yeah.
And it's got some decorations and some lights, and there's music playing and all this stuff. But it's just Jesus on the cross at the back of the church. And I'm going, this is a weird, like, some sort of,
what kind of party dynamic is that?
It was odd. It made it very uncomfortable. I even took a picture of it just to show you, okay? Because I wouldn't put this out there public because there's, kids there and all that stuff. But, like, look at, okay, so that's, right? So you've got all this tremendous amount of fog and smoke, like fog machines and lights and all this stuff, right? Yeah. And then when you blow up the picture, you got Jesus on the cross just chilling. And I'm going, this is uncomfortable. We should not be partying. We should not be doing anything in this building. I don't know.
It was blasphemous.
It was odd.
Fog machine. Jesus is suffering as no man has suffered.
And
3 days.
And we're doing the Macarena while he's a
fog machine, lights, strobe shining off his wounds. Guy stabbing him with a balloon lightsaber.
And I kid you not, I don't think anybody else saw the weird, perverse humor in that room except for me. And I'm going, this is just so strange to me. I don't fit in here at all.
And most of those people were probably a little more devout than you, and it still never crossed their mind.
Oh, yes. And then they played a song. Okay, you know that song, Nobody Talks About Bruno?
Yeah.
All right. This was weird. They went into a remix towards the end of the night. Yeah, like it was like, nobody talks about Bruno, that whole thing. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it was the same beat and everything, but it was like a mega mix, and it was, we need to talk about Jesus. Oh. And my ears, I'm like, wait, what just happened here? And so it's the same song, and it's called We Need to Talk About Jesus, and all the lyrics are all about that.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh, here's where they slip in the indoctrination.
It's
Here
big time.
is.
Put it to music. It's totally in your head.
It took a while. It took a couple hours from the ease into it, but once they started, throwing in the mega mixes of Jesus, I was like,
That's what I need to get into, making Christian parody songs. Oh my God.
Well, I left there. I'm talking to my daughter, and then we get home. We're just kind of recapping the night because I'm going, what just happened here? And she noticed it too. She goes, what was up with that song about we need to talk? And I go, you noticed it too? She goes, oh, yeah, I noticed it. I'm like, at least I'm not the only one.
They ruined Bruno. With Jesus song.
It's time that we talk about Jesus.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to talk about Jesus. I mean, I've said it before. It's
not
like
at a party.
It's like you go out to a party and you're like everybody's having a good time. You're like, hey, everybody over here. I want to talk to everybody just for a minute about Jesus. Because, I mean, is there anything more important? He died for our sins. He's the reason we're going to live forever. Hey! Nobody wants to talk about Jesus.
See the guy behind all the smoke and the fog and the lights hanging on the wall? That's Jesus. We need to talk about him. It was odd. It was odd. Yeah. I thought you'd be the only one in my life that would get a kick out of it.
I mean, you didn't have to blow it up for me. You showed me the picture, and the first thing I saw was in the background, right behind the DJ table and the fog machine, is a guy suffering for everyone's sins.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Just full-blown nailed up. And slowly suffocating as his shoulders come out of the sockets.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's how they die. Because it doesn't, the wounds in your feet and thing don't kill you, but slowly your body weight dislocates your shoulders and then you just suffocate yourself. Yeah.
There's got to be a better way.
Well, that's the way they wanted it.
But I mean,
they did it to a lot of people.
What's up with the feet? Like, if you just did the
because they want it to last.
Oh, so if they just did the arms, it would go too quick.
Yeah, I mean, they could just cut your head off and be done with it. No, they make it an ordeal for you. Hang up there, then people can come and watch you and yell things at you.
That's a weird move, huh? Just going to watch it.
We talked about this on the Cluster F show. It's like, how do you become more civilized? How do you all of a sudden, not want to see people's, feet burned off or, eviscerated live on stage? How do you, people used to love that. They don't gather around and watch people just get their guts torn out and stretched and broken. And
it's true.
And now we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, you got to go to on your X feed and get a good algorithm of just constant mayhem and violence.
I can't imagine what's on the dark web.
Oh my God,
I don't even imagine.
Oof. It's got to be dark.
If I went on the dark web, I'd probably just commit suicide and go, okay, I don't want to live in this world anymore. I can't get those images out of my head.
Oh my God. Yeah. I don't even know how to access the dark web, nor do I.
I don't either. I would never.
I'm perfectly happy with good old-fashioned web. I don't need anything dark in my life. I just, I understand there's probably honestly a need for some stuff on the dark web. Like, well, because you're going to have big tech censorship or something. Like, there probably is some useful information on there, but not enough that makes me want to, figure out how to get on the dark web. No.
Yeah, I saw somebody sent me some comedy clip, and there was this guy and he was using, all the N words and every word imaginable. I was like you can't do that on the, on any platform now, can you? It has to be like on the dark web. There's no platforms that allow that, are there? We can be blatantly just
totally racist.
I don't know. Is there?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know if X allows that or not.
I don't think so.
Because some of the stuff on X is pretty.
That's a good question. Maybe you can. Free speech.
Yeah. I'm all about the free speech stuff. And it's absolute. But wow.
All these
the thoughts.
All these. The only way you don't solve it by restricting speech. You theoretically solve it by making yourself have a better society. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So there's not so many crazy, warped, uneducated people out there. You got dumb, uneducated, backward people, and they're not going to think smart thoughts. They're going to, go back to the primitive racism and homophobia and stuff.
Well, it's like you have to have, I get the free speech stuff, and I get people are going to be assholes, right? I'm okay with that. That's great, be an asshole. But I do think there should be some sort of clause in there. It's just like, I don't know, don't be such an asshole. You can be an asshole, but don't be such an asshole. And I don't know where that goes or where that line gets drawn, because everybody's Mendoza line's different. But
people,
jeez.
People don't know. A lot of people they have no idea that they're being assholes. I think they have no idea.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them that are assholes, and they have no idea.
And they're like, that little innocent comment?
Me? Yeah, you're a real fucking cocksucker. I'm trying to grow in the Ned chin strap here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
But that's great.
It's white, so you can't see. It's so weird. I got nothing up here, and this is about 90% white.
How quickly will your beard fill in? What do you think?
I'm fine right here. It's just real. It's
sparse over there.
But I thought, I've never tried. If you grow, sometimes you get a few more hairs that take a longer time.
You're going for it.
Yeah. Nobody's looking at me.
How long are you gonna give it?
Let's see. This is a week and a half. Oh, see, that's what I figured out. Because I would never grow a goatee or a mustache, because I'm too too fidgety, and I'll be biting it, and no way. This doesn't bother me because it's down here.
Mm-hmm. So little goatee action.
Usually, it's like, I don't like this. It itches my So I'm gonna go for the chin strap.
Wow.
It might, if after 2 weeks, if it's too pathetic here, I'll realize that.
So you're not even going to fully commit. You're only going to give it 2 weeks.
How long? 3. I'll go. How many weeks do you think?
I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, I think it's not going to happen. After 3 weeks, it's not going to happen.
I think you give it a solid 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay. We'll see.
It'll fly by.
We'll fly. We'll fly by. It will.
It will.
Fucking ridiculous how time's flying.
Oh my God.
April 24th. So 2024. How'd it get to be 2024? For the love of God, it's crazy.
I know. Think about it. Over 24 years ago, you were prepping for Y2K. You're in freak out mode right now. 25 years ago, whatever.
And we're right back in the same boat. 24 years later. Yeah, like we were saying earlier, people are like, they're just waiting for something big to happen. Something big's gonna happen, and it's like, what if nothing big happens?
Well, then that's a good thing.
I guess that's a good. Well,
that's a great thing if nothing big happens.
I think this country needs a seismic transformation, because the direction we're heading is not good in all aspects, in freedom of speech, in the bizarre, the war on women, with women can't even compete in their own sports anymore, and the inflation and the crime and the immigration. I think something big has to happen, or the same old for the next 4 years is about all we got.
Whatever big
they're taking us down the tubes.
Whatever big is going to happen, it feels like George Soros is behind it. It just always leads, for some reason, all roads lead back to Soros. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I don't know what his deal is. I could look it up, and I have, but it's not enough. I haven't studied enough to retain it. But today, I'm listening to CNN on the way here, and they're talking about these college protests, and they're going, all these tents popped up.
Yeah.
At 8 a.m. sharp, these tents all strategically positioned. And I'm thinking to myself, well, college kids, you can't motivate college kids to do much beyond their work, or maybe a social club, right? Who's going, you know what, I'm going to handle the tents for this protest. Don't worry about it, guys. I got them. I'm going to be out there nice and early. We're going to set up these tents. We'll have everything nice and ready to go for you. I'm not buying it. I don't know where the tents come from. Just the same reason I don't know where the rocks in New York, all the riot rocks. I don't know where this stuff comes from. It just mysteriously appears and is done to this weird level of, I don't say perfection, but it's done well enough to where you go, oh, well, it's all set up for me. I might as well protest now. It's all here.
So
I don't know what I'm protesting, but I'm here.
Well, thank you for saying that, because I felt as if I was a lone voice It's like
we're two lone voices.
It's like, okay, college students, like the last time college students really protested legitimately was the Vietnam War. And that's because their friends and they were getting drafted to go die. And that was a motivational factor. You're not going to motivate all these kids in Colombia and all to protest against has nothing to do with them.
No.
It doesn't affect their lives at all. And that's human nature, and that's especially college kid nature. They're not going to do it. And they're certainly not going to have 75 green matching tents set up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It's all fake.
Can we ask the first question of, hey, where'd you guys get these tents? Where are these tents going? When they're broken down here, are they going back to a storage facility? Are they going to somebody's dorm room? And if so, whose dorm room are they going to? Because who's storing 75 fucking tents?
They're going in the trash because George Soros can buy a gazillion tents. That's what it is.
So I'm saying, can we get a picture of the people that break down the tents and go, hey, who are the people breaking down the tents? Like, what's their deal? Can we interview them instead of interviewing these dumb protesters that don't even know what the protest is about? Interview and go, hey, I noticed you guys are breaking down the tents. Who told you to do that? Do you have a supervisor on staff? Is there somebody that's telling you to break down the event? And if so, was there a setup time and a breakdown time? And if so, where are these tents going to? Are you getting paid for this event? All these basic questions that I just haven't heard anybody bring up, and maybe it's my reasoning's just not logical. Maybe I
mean, that's exactly what I was thinking. So maybe my reasoning's not logical. Here you want to hear a protester at NYU telling you why she's protesting.
Yes, please.
All right, here we go.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's...
She's there protesting what NYU is doing. And she said, I honestly don't know what NYU is doing. So that's the main reason she's there.
That tracks.
And she doesn't know why.
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure do you know what NYU is doing?
So she asks her friend who's there protesting if she knows what NYU is doing wrong.
About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh, I wish I was more educated. It's the cool thing to do.
If I was this girl's parents and I saw this clip on TV, I'd be like, sweetheart, we're going to go ahead and pull you out of school because this is not for you. And I'm not wasting my money up there for you to have any, like, first of all, don't ever do an interview on TV. Don't ever do that.
No, don't.
Especially these days. It's never going to be good. I mean, there's so many things wrong with that clip. But like we were saying, if you're a college kid, yeah, you're just like looking for something to do that's, oh, this might be a interesting experience. Hey, they're all meeting. Everybody's out there. I don't know what they're doing, but you want to go out there and meet up?
Hey, I'm on Instagram Live. Right. I'm at the Palestinian protest, man. I got 45 people live looking at me. That's what it's all about. These people don't even know what they're protesting. It's the like, maybe it's always been this way, but it's like you could tell in BLM and certain protests, abortion protests nowadays, all the signs are professionally made and they all look the same.
Correct.
Somebody's funding.
Who's on sign duty?
Somebody's funding this shit, and it ain't the average Joe.
Yeah,
it's all. We're not living in an actual game show simulation. But everything we believe is bullshit.
Think about it this way: when you or anybody listening, when you or your family or kids or whatever had a lemonade stand, okay, how long did it take you to make that sign? Probably not that long, but it also looked like crap.
It looked like crap. It did look like crap.
If you wanted to make a nice lemonade stand sign and really put some time and effort into it, it would take you a while. And that was a small, freakishly small lemonade stand for a 3-foot or a 6-foot table. All right.
Yeah.
Just the signs alone, like you said, who's in charge? Where are these signs being printed? Who's the invoice traced back to? Can we get some sort of
investigative journalism? We don't have it anymore.
Right. Instead, it's like it might be George Soros, but who knows? Like, can't we just trace it back to who's picking up the fucking signs?
I mean, it's like, so like, you know, if you're like an investigative journalist, you probably just, you get somebody young and they dress like a college student and they go, hey man, where'd you get the sign? I want to get a sign. Hey, the guy over there in the tent's got the sign, you know, and you can figure it out. Nobody's even trying to figure it. They're acting like it's all just real.
And to me, I think that's the most fascinating part of all it is just the logistics. Find the logistics and it'll lead you to the rest, right? Like that's
But they're not trying to find because they don't want to know.
I know.
Because it's freaking fake. I'm not buying all these college students protesting
No.
a place that they couldn't find on a map. And our world is now based on like complete fakery. It's not even believable. I mean, they sent $100 billion of our money to Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel, and I can guarantee if you went on the streets, that'd get about a 20% approval rate. But they're doing it anyway, and that didn't used to fly. It used to be people would be, I can call on my congressman.
Yeah, now that's a protest.
You know, I wouldn't call my congressman now. I get put on a fucking list.
I don't even know. Sad part is I don't even know who my congressman is, and honestly, I don't think I care, because I don't. You know, man.
Didn't vote for Kevin Hazlett for Congress. Probably not in his district.
Even if I was, I wouldn't go to the polls. Nothing to do with him, just in general.
I'd go. Be nice to know a congressman. I told him that.
And unless there's heat there, then you don't want another congressman.
Oh, see, I don't have any heat.
Well, that you know of until you just never.
You think
know.
I got heat with Kevin Hazlett?
I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying you never. I don't trust any.
He asked me to do a couple songs for him in his campaign, and I was like, sure. And I was like, I texted him. I said, it'd be nice to have a congressman in my back pocket. But he didn't win, so screw that.
He had the Sodom endorsement.
Oh, I mean, you know, I loved Kevin Hayes. I don't know if he got heat with it. Personally, I thought he was, you know, he was a really interesting guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
that I agree
really
with.
Good, really good lawyer.
Sure.
He helped Trace. You know, he's a really good lawyer. And I'm pretty sure if like Kevin Hazelton was a congressman, I would be able to get a hold of him and say, hey, Kevin, and he might actually do something for me. And that's the only time anybody's going to do something for you in Congressman.
Yeah, when I was a kid, there was it Michael Bilirakis
Sounds right.
Because I was big, and when I was a little kid, like 7, 8 years old, like I wanted to be a politician. Like I really enjoyed
7 or 8 year old wants to be a
politician. I used to read books about the presidents of the United States. I know. I used to read. I used to know everything about the presidents. That was just my interest. And I remember meeting. I think it was if I remember correctly, it was Michael Bilirakis, who was I think his son Gus Bilirakis is now but it was such an honor to meet this guy, and I had him sign my president's book and all this stuff. And I really thought,
it's like Santa Claus.
Yeah, and then you find out, like, now nothing to do with Michael Bilirakis or Gus or anything. Just in general, you go, oh, politicians. Oh, I want to burn that autograph. Like that doesn't mean anything. There's no authenticity in it. There's no spirit. There's no American value in that autograph. It's just him going, okay, kid.
So sad. So sad. Used to think they call them public servants. It's not even believable.
Weird. So weird.
Anymore. Excuse me. a little of that vodka, a little of that Fries went down the wrong way.
I brought the good stuff tonight.
Fries vodka.
F-R-I-S. It's got 2 little dots above the
two
I.
Little dots.
Don't know what those are called.
I was watching the Masters, and this guy was named his name was A-B-E-R-G, but he had a little O on top of the A, a teeny little O on the point, like a tiny little O.
Would that be an A?
And they called him Oberg. The whole tournament, everybody called him Oberg.
Huh?
It's like I don't even know how you get O out of A, and why don't you just put an O instead of an A with a tiny little O on top of?
We need to standardize this communication process.
Okay, of course.
In general.
Of course, I'm sure he knows English, and nobody here knows his language. We're the stupidest country in the world. Everybody in the Olympics, almost every interview will be done in English, and you'll have the guy from Finland going, talking, yes, and I know English, and the Americans will be talking to everybody just in American. We only know English.
Yeah,
and
you're
not
right.
one of us knows Spanish or French, so you might have, no, we don't know nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of American ego involved, myself included, because I know if I were to move to a foreign country where they spoke another language, I'm not going to learn it. I'm not
either.
And then we rip on people for not assimilating here in this country, and it's like, well, I mean, be honest with yourself. Would you try to assimilate over there? Probably not.
But the difference is you're not going over there. And if you come over, if you go in there,
If I did,
but if you didn't, but people have the right to what an asshole.
Oh,
he
yeah.
comes to my country and he's not learning, so that you're going to get treated like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to see. It's not fair though. These people have good education systems, and they learn these languages when they're young, and that's when you're capable of learning language. I ain't capable of.
Learning curves pass me by.
You need to get kids when they're like 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Or or at least that's how you teach them language. I ain't learning a language. Pass me by.
I still want to learn sign language. Like, I'm fascinated with sign language.
It's like a real pain in the ass.
I downloaded an app. It was a free app to learn sign language.
What you got so far?
Well, it's a free trial, and then of course they, it's like you get past lesson 1, and so I spent like, it's hello, welcome. That's as far as I got is hello and welcome, and then they were like, if you'd like to pay for the next lesson, I'm like, man, you guys, you didn't even teach me anything. You didn't bait me in enough. I'm not paying $15 a month for hello, welcome.
I got it already. See, so maybe you could sign while you're kite surfing. That's what I'm thinking.
Are you suggesting I'm never going to finish any one of my passion projects? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm not one to talk.
I see you got this thing over here still.
What is that?
Little hard drive. See, that's still.
Trace summed it up best. He said, "We're not doers." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not a doer.
Yeah,
I'm like things fall in my lap kind of guy."
Isn't that that's the funniest type of person, right? Like, if you were to tell anybody that, like, I'm more of a wait and let things fall in my lap kind of guy. That's insane.
I'm hoping to have a grabber by like 65,
No.
I see like everything worked out for me. Everybody, I see no
You need to get that subtle grabber that allows you to get some
sympathy
and disability. That's really where it's at.
I'm looking for disability.
Yeah, somehow, if you can, maximize that. I don't exactly know how.
Disability is where you're at.
Anything going on in the chit chat?
Anthony, okay, I got it. See, I'm slow. Anthony, subscribe for 6 months. Appreciate it, Anthony.
He's fairly new then.
He is fairly new.
That's cool.
Maybe he may have come aboard for the hang. My $2 isn't new. 57 months. Holy freaking moly. Lindsay said, did you guys hear about how Blitz supposedly stole $250,000 from the cuck? Yeah, I heard about it.
What?
What?
Huh?
Oh, you want to? Should we talk about that?
I don't.
It's not. I mean, I don't have thorough knowledge of it because I'm pretty much uninterested in anything that goes on over there. But I do know the basic facts.
I don't know
anything about
anything.
People are always spewing. They want to tell me, and it's like, that's fine. But I don't get worked up over it, and I don't. I'm not responding to nobody. I don't care. I'm trying to do my own thing here.
I'm just confused. I don't know what happened. Like,
we'll get into it like next hour.
Okay.
But a guy screwed up my career. But how long have I had it on the wrong camera? Probably a long ass time. But I know I started on the right camera. I like to talk about it. I did it for 20 years. I'm going to talk about it, and sometimes it's still interesting to see him do, like the thing we did last week. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
To see the parallels between those two guys, and now he's doing, he's doing the same kind of works, and lies, and it's interesting to see the downfall.
So
the downfall.
Okay, again, I'm flying blind here, so I don't know what anything's about. I do know that I got an interesting message today, literally, and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I just didn't. I'm new to the situation, so I don't exactly know what it is.
I mean, you know, in my opinion, you're not missing much, but it is like I guess for in that world that used to be really big and now it's shrunk down to this, but that world is a big deal.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Driven Too Far, subscribe for 31 months. Thank you much. Thank you very much. Driven Too Far. Appreciate it. My drink's about dry.
Samesies.
So I say we'll play Ned's Piano Man. Messiah Man, which is from Pagans and Potheads. Were you around? You were there when we were doing Pagans and Potheads, weren't you?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Maybe one or two of them or something like that. But yeah,
I did. I think I did 6. So this is from Pagans and Potheads. You know, see, I try to throw Hatley a bone. Dude, I was like, hey, I know you're anti-religion. Why don't you open it? Why don't you open up for me?
Oh, is this when he ripped off Homeboy's material or something like that?
He was doing what's that guy's name? I can't remember, but he's a comedian. He's a real like anti-established comedian who died. I can't remember, but he was using his jokes, and it's like, man, can't you just write?
He was lifting material.
Just write some of your own jokes. All right, we're gonna get a fresh drink. We'll come back, and everybody's clamoring to hear about the latest about Blitz and $250,000.
Well, I am too now because I have no idea what you're talking about. So.
All right. Well, we'll be right back with more of The Hang. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, maybe we should come right back and answer some questions from chat.
Sure. Yeah. Questions
if I can find them. I need to pause chat. How do you pause chat so that they can be right on the questions? I don't know how to pause it. Never mind.
Like he said, he's not a doer.
Okay, I'm going to go. Okay, I know right after Driven Too Far subscription, soon after that will be the questions.
Okay.
Den's a lunatic, and the Holy Ghost sits on his throne, and he's feeding us all with one tuna fish, and later he'll get us all stoned. Sing us a song, you're the Messiah Man. Walk on some water tonight. Yeah, you dazzle us all with your holiness. We're buying that Son of God high. Messiah Man, pagans in my head. It's a pretty good crowd for a holy day, and Jehovah, he gives me a smile. I've got 2 fucking holes in both of my hands, but I play the piano with style. And then Noah shows up with his animals, and some guy stabs my side with a spear. I've got thorny crow scars, but I'm a superstar. I turn water and wine into beer. God's the big enchilada. He put his son on the cross. Sing us a song, you're the Messiah Man. You are the truth and the light. If you think I have magical powers, you're probably not too fucking bright.
Hello, I'm Mel Tillis. You know the country singer. You know, wild horses couldn't drag me away from a concert, but a bad headache could. Aspirin tablets can be hard on the stomach. That's why I take Jolly's headache powder. I can't let a headache dictate my life. I need to run on
just,
all
you know, after you've been in that studio and heard the
pistons. Jolly's contains twice as much aspirin as ordinary powders. Mix a Jolly's headache powder in your favorite cocktail, and you're good as new. Ask for Jollies.
Got too many tangents going at once.
I know.
I got 8. I wrote down all these tangents and I can't remember what they were. It's a hang with Mike and Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see if we got any questions, Matt. Let's go back. I don't think we did. Okay, so that the chat's pulling a rib on us.
It's a good rib.
Is the OT live? I just ordered my subscription to the channel as well as Twitcher. I got the Twitcher. It's not live. I think Dark Passenger said he was going to figure out how to do that live and get back to us. Because I think it'd be cool to do it live where you could have a VIP chat only. I think people would like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I can't figure that out. I don't know. It probably has to do with servers and all that shit. That's a lot of work.
A lot of glippity
A lot of, yeah. Let's see if Blind Lawrence has anything. No.
The blind one.
No.
Love Blind Lawrence.
He was a good guy.
lied about being blind.
They
but,
all just want. I just want to heal this. He's blind as a bat. Look at his eyes.
Hey, he could still see.
He's blind.
He admitted he could still see.
Blind as a bat.
It was a rib.
It's a good rib. That's blind as a bat. He can't see shit.
He said he could still see a little bit.
I'm just saying. He said he could see lights.
And I'll always hold that against him. The fact that he's not truly 110,000% blind.
Such a blind hater. The deal with the latest phony deal over there is that like Blitz was the engineer after Thomas left.
I remember him, but only through when I was there. He was always kind of just hanging around or something like that. I don't know. Apparently,
he was just like, I don't know who he was. I don't even know how there was a connection with Bubba, but he was always hanging around. He cleaned my gun for me one time. That's
Yeah, he's one of those
guys.
Blitz.
He's down there all the time. And hey, Blitz, you clean my gun? Okay, sure.
Yeah, I only knew a couple things about him. One is, I don't know. Just being full transparency, like he just seemed kind of odd to me. Two, I think he always was like he knew a lot about he knew a lot of dirt.
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of stuff.
It's kind of where it's going. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the third and final thing is apparently I went to high school with him, and apparently he was maybe even in my same year. I didn't know that at all until years later, and I think he told me like, yeah, we went to high school. I'm going, I don't know.
He was a big dude. If I was in Blitz K's body, I would have been all state forward in basketball. Just slam it down 30 points a night.
Meanwhile, couldn't tell you his name. Don't know.
All I know is Blitz K. That's all I know.
No clue. But okay.
So he was the engineer after Thomas, and I always got along. I get along with everybody down there. I always got along with Blitz, and then I don't know. So he became a little more like vocal when I guess I left because there was space to be filled. And then a year or two ago, Bubba got this girl from The Bone called Anna. She's like a part-timer, I think. Go ahead.
Yes, that's yeah. No, that now this is making sense of the message I got earlier. So
okay, and she seemed like a perfectly nice person. She just she wasn't particularly interesting or entertaining. And then her and Blitz, working down together, how things go. So they got into, they were a boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess. And then, I don't know, I don't keep track of no timeline, but Blitz mysteriously was gone.
Okay.
Gone. 6-8 months, a year ago, I can't remember. And there was rumors going around. There was lots of rumors.
There's always rumors
that he had stolen from Bubba, but it was, there was no confirmation.
Okay.
And so, you're thinking, okay, so Blitz allegedly stole, a bunch of money from Bubba, and Bubba still has his girlfriend as his co-host. That is a giant red flag right there. That's like, how would that ever even happen?
Okay.
And so then recently, I think last week, Anna, I don't know how you say, Anna, she resigned. And now Bubba's come clean and said that. See, just those words. Those 3 words are so preposterous. Those 3 words are so preposterous.
Okay.
Lady Stephosaurus subscribed for 49 months. Thank you very much. So preposterous. Bubba came clean and said that Blitz had embezzled through Bubba credit cards, BRN credit cards, $250,000 from him. And he did not call the cops on Blitz because he didn't want to ruin his life. And that's pretty much and they have audio of Blitz, Tom Bean, and Bubba as they confront Blitz with the evidence of the crime.
I'm so all right. I am fascinated. I don't. I guess the first part of do I care? The answer would be no. I don't care.
Yeah, neither do I.
But let's game theory this. How did he steal $250,000?
charging stuff on the company credit card for 2 or 3 years. Oh, yeah.
And there's proof of this.
Oh, I would imagine there's receipts, buddy.
And he didn't prosecute him, or he
No,
he wasn't arrested?
Let me slow it down for you, man.
Yeah, please. Because
he didn't want to ruin his life.
He wants to ruin everybody's life.
He does.
He's wanted people prosecuted for everything, stuff that never happened. He's wanted people. I mean, the Calta thing. He railed on the prosecutor for months, years, whatever, about him not getting arrested or prosecuted. Like,
it's not remotely.
So he's not. But this guy Blitz is able to allegedly embezzle $250,000.
It's not believable. It's not believable.
I am fascinated. This is really interesting. How? Why would he? So he didn't want to
ruin his life because that's kind of magnanimous person that he is. See that right away. Doesn't matter what information you have. I immediately go, oh well, the story is completely 100% false because he would never not prosecute somebody because he, like you said, he wants everyone to fail. So he would never turn the other cheek against somebody who screwed him over.
Okay, unless. Let me just.
Well, I got an unless too. Go ahead.
Yeah, my unless would be unless Blitz really knows stuff, which I know he does.
That's it.
Like I know he does.
So that's how he knew he could get away with stealing the money.
There's a couple incidents that I know of, just personally, that we've never even spoken about, that I'm familiar that he knows about, and it would be. I mean, I don't know. Again. I don't care, but I would imagine my unless would be that. Or do you have a different unless?
No, it's like, yeah. So he's like, oh, well, you got all this dirt on me here, sign an NDA, and I won't prosecute you, and they both walk away.
But he walked away with $250,000?
Allegedly. I mean, who knows how much of that story is true at all. It could be something completely different. You know how that goes. Yeah, it could be such a work that you're like, why is that even a work? Why are you even? What you're just working to work?
So the Anna girl, are they still like they still are together? They're not together. Like I'm trying to.
Oh, I don't know. What
does she have to do? I guess like you said, if it was. I'm just trying to put all the pieces together. And, it's difficult to put pieces together of a puzzle when everybody in the puzzle is just real shifty.
It's a dirty game.
The puzzle moves. The pieces actually move. It's the weirdest puzzle because the pieces can actually morph.
So is it shady? Is Blitz the shady one in this case? Or is it Shady Bubba? You don't know. Or maybe, hey, maybe, Blitz, maybe you work for somebody and you're like, man, I'm going to get mine. And I got dirt. I don't know. Does that make you such a bad guy?
No. Sometimes you become Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's a Robin Hood mentality.
I don't know.
I should have had that mentality.
Oh, my God.
A sucker mentality.
That's a weird move, though, for him not to. Yeah, because again, why wouldn't you prosecute? If you have, and you said they have it actually on audio of him, like, admitting to this?
Which is a classic BRN work move, is you get in the studio and you go in Bean's office and you got a tape recorder and you're like, oh, we're gonna this is what you say, Blitz, and this is what you say, Bean.
Again with the recording? Can we? This guy's got to stop recording things. Jesus Christ! Everything he does is. I would pat down that guy at every instance. Be like, you have a hidden microphone? Like, Jesus, he's like wearing permanent wire. What the fuck?
I mean, it's just not. That's what I mean.
So you think it's a work?
It's some form of. There's a work. I don't know. It could be 17 different things. All I see is only one thing I know for sure. It's not what he's saying it is.
Okay.
You know that. People are like, "Oh, he definitely stole it." You don't. Nobody knows. Yeah.
Well, how do you not know that $250,000 is missing? That would be my main thing. How do you just not know that?
How would you? Okay, so who's in? Yeah, I mean, because it was not a well-run business. Nobody's keeping track of nothing because there was no money for nothing. The last couple of years I was there, nothing got fixed. There's no money for nothing.
Okay,
but $250,000 spent willy-nilly is unaccounted for, not even noticed.
Didn't he also have like some sort of break-in at his racetrack where thousands of dollars mysteriously disappeared? These are things that, look, if it's legit and if it's real, I don't really care. Honestly, if it's legit and it's real, I still don't give a shit. If it's not real, that seems plausible as well. Like that's the weird part is there's so much misinformation and untruth that I don't know what to.
Yeah, Lindsay says he apparently bought groceries, 4 iPhones, a MacBook Pro, quad parts, an AR-15, an STD test, tanning equipment.
Tanning equipment.
I don't see blitz tanning. That's right.
So
it's like.
So what happened to the other $235,000?
Yeah, exactly. That's not a lot. That's not. I mean, $250,000 is like. I don't think you could charge that on a card without the most incompetent business noticing there were $250,000 on your credit card.
Well, I always heard that it approximately takes $250,000 to raise a child from birth to the age of 18. That was always a number back in the day, right? Of like, it takes, on average, a child's going to cost $250,000.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that this guy had a company card or whatever it is and was able to embezzle $250,000 in no time? And they have proof of this, and the proof of this from somebody who is all about prosecuting people, refuses to prosecute because he doesn't want to ruin his life, even though he took $250,000 from him. Is that how I'm gathering this?
I'm glad you finally figured it out. But you'll see the proof is in the pudding, and so I hate to throw a monkey wrench into this, but come Monday, I believe, he's going to be printing all the receipts of every transaction that Blitz screwed him out of. Just kidding, that's not happening.
Oh. I was like, that's content. All right.
It's not happening. So, he's got the receipts. He's got, otherwise you wouldn't know, right? You got the receipts.
But how do you embezzle? So like he's saying that he's, because embezzlement, I don't know the exact, definition of how that.
He used a credit card to charge $250,000 worth of shit. It's not remotely believable at all. The logistics aren't even believable.
I'm just fascinated with the guy who says he's always getting screwed and nobody will press charges on anybody who does him dirty and all this stuff. And now he's got this adult apparently dead to rights on $250,000, and he's saying no, don't sweat it.
Never underestimate the love in someone's heart.
Hold on, this has nothing.
Love and generosity in a man's heart.
Keep in mind, this has nothing. I'm thinking about this completely from an, believe it or not, an objective point of view. Just the information that you're telling me.
Yeah.
I don't know why he wouldn't prosecute. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it doesn't. Big Kahuna says it's a work to offload some of that IRS debt. Blitz is doing a clean job in the middle to help the cuck. That could be 100% true as well.
That's true because the cuck
he's not prosecuted. So what's Blitz losing? Nothing.
Yeah, there's more. There's always more to things, and that's the thing. I don't think people realize. There's always layers. There's always these little. So, yeah, maybe he is doing a job. But how would that get the cuck out of the IRS thing?
I don't know. You can't declare a $250,000 loss unless there's $250,000 worth of charges. And that what kind of credit card can you charge $250,000 on? I want this credit card right now. I got to have it.
Maybe we don't know all the facts. I mean, I surely don't. I don't know everything, and there's always...
There's not a lot of facts to be had in this case, my friend. I mean, yeah, if you're an investigator, you could crack this nut like it after interviewing the first witness.
So, just to recap, I think the IRS thing, that's interesting. So, all right, let's play detective. All right. So, he gets $250,000 stolen.
Yeah. Didn't notice it.
Didn't notice it.
It took a long time, long ass time. Yeah.
Has all the evidence and proof needed to have.
He was provided that as he should be as the owner of the credit card.
While coincidentally being under investigation from the IRS for a lot of money in back taxes and money owed, right? Something along those lines.
I have no idea.
Something
I
like
haven't heard anything about the IRS deal.
I have.
Oh.
But just through somebody. But I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Don't care. And
go ahead.
So now you've got this guy dead to rights with proof, and you could, but you won't. Because you love him? That's the heart of
his boy. He's his boy. Just like Hogan was his boy. Never do anything to hurt any of those guys.
What does chat think? What are they saying?
Well, they got a lot of stuff. They're saying a lot of stuff.
Because I don't know. I'm literally trying to look at this objectively. I don't know much beyond it, but I will tell you I did get a message, and I will show it to you. And this is why it's adding up now.
Yeah, it all adds up.
This is why it's adding
up.
I got a message from the Anna girl.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me. And I'm going, what?
What'd she reach out to you for?
I have no idea. This is what's so funny is I don't know.
You got to find out what she wants.
I don't care. I hate to. I don't know any. I mean, I don't want to read her message to me.
Give me her number, and maybe she wants. Maybe she'll come on the air with me.
Do you? If you want that,
why not?
I have no idea.
I'm a truth seeker, Matt.
If you look, okay, I'll tell you like this. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion of like the orbit. That's I don't want anything to do with that orbit, right? Like it's funny for us to talk about and stuff like that, but actually, like I don't want anything to do with those people.
I probably won't have her on. See, I don't like I just like do my own thing, man.
But I also don't know about this story. I don't know if it passes the old sniff test. Number one. Number two is we all are familiar with how that world operates, which is
yeah. I mean, it's bizarre. Like, you can be involved in that show for 20 years and it's nothing, you're working all the time. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, we worked into like the best show in America. We were really good at working. Half the shit's real, half the shit's a work.
Mm-hmm.
And so but people won't believe, like people like you and I, when we talk about all the works that go on. It's fucking, I was a part of it's a fucking work. I can see through it like nobody's business. But you don't believe me, who was a part of all those works.
Okay, what does chat say? Is there any
Oh, they got to just, saying what Bubba says. Like, they're talking about using it to offload IRS debt that Bubba said he was using it to off. I don't even know what that means. If Bubba said it, it's not true.
Bro.
Nobody reconciled the PayPal account for 3 years. PayPal. So can you charge on PayPal? Or you just get PayPal?
Well, you would take in money on a PayPal. I mean, you could send money to people and then you take in money on a PayPal, right?
Like, where would you get the money? Like, how would I get, if I work for a business, how would I get money from their PayPal?
I don't know.
I don't understand it. It's not, and okay, say it's all true. All that does is show what a terrible business it was. You telling me you can embezzle $250,000 on PayPal in 3 years and nobody even fucking checks at all?
And then you can get away free and clear.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's the worst business ever. Everyone involved is completely foolish and incompetent. That's your story? That's your fucking story? Jesus God almighty.
That's fascinating. It is kind of fascinating.
People buy it. People buy this shit.
God, I want nothing to do.
It's hilarious. It's like, what? Hey, you know what? I got a fucking clue for you. Here's an idea. Just be a decent person and quit fucking cheating and scheming and being an asshole. It's not hard. I don't wake up every moment battling. Every day I wake up and battle to be a decent person. I just don't fuck anybody over. And I don't lie and I don't cheat and make shit up. Whatever comes my way, I deal with it. And that's my reality. I'm not like, how can I fucking cheat my way out of it? Just deal with your fucking reality.
I still don't understand the prosecution angle. I'm having a tough time.
Because that's how you know. You can't get by it because
I can't get by it.
It's the ultimate. It's
because all he wants to do is get people in.
It's three red flags in one.
As long as we've ever known that guy, everything he does is based around getting somebody else busted or caught or
fired
or fined or arrested. All of it. All of it.
That's what he said.
But this situation, for some reason, $250,000 has been whatever you embezzled or whatever, however. And it's cool. It's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Huh. And why's the Anna? Who's the Anna girl? Like, I don't.
It's so funny, you know.
I don't want to betray her message, but
she seemed like a perfectly nice person, and there's not a lot of radio gigs to be had, so she, you know, it's like what's his name? Boy, Seth.
Okay.
Like he was there for a while, and then he couldn't take it anymore, and he left. And I was following him on Twitter, and he was going here for a job, and in California, then he was back, and he's doing this, and he just couldn't seem to hold a job, and all of a sudden now he's back with Bubba because there ain't no radio jobs out there. So he went back to that. It's like, people just, you know, they come back, but you can only take it so long. You can only take getting shit on for so long. And I think the proof of that is about 197 ex-employees. It's like there's not one employee. I mean, it's got to be over 100 people that went through that place.
Oh, for sure.
Interns and, you know.
Oh, my God. Interns, you're talking over 500 people
I mean,
at that point.
You know, you can only take being shit on for so long, and there's not one. I was the person because I was the only one who didn't get shit on. Mm-hmm. And then I started getting shit on. And
even you were like, all right,
I was like, fuck this
I'm
shit.
Out of this.
So even me, the most loyal, you know, it's easy to be loyal when you get treated well. So he never shit on me because he's, you know, for the only smart business decision he ever made was, you know, being nice to me because he knew he wouldn't shit without me.
How do you smuggle 250 grand? I can't. I'm sorry.
250 grand. Even PayPal. They didn't check. They don't check. They just pay the bills. They just so flush with cash at the BRN. They just pay the bill.
They just had it like that.
Pay the bills.
250, no big deal.
250 large. Didn't even notice it. Didn't even think about it. That's all it is. 250. Didn't they have like a guy, like an employee that was in a wasn't Ken? Didn't he do stuff?
The accounting office, at least it used to be in the old building, was upstairs.
What else do you have to do? There's not a lot going on at the BRN accounting office. It's not a multinational corporation.
We're begging for donations. Donations come in. People get paid, right? Like that's essentially the business model, which is fine. I'm just having a difficult time with it. I don't know. Again, I'll take it back to do I care? The answer would be no. Do I think it's funny? I mean, I don't know. Do I? I'm not sure. I'm not. It's sad and funny at the same time.
It's funny. It's funny.
Is it funny?
It's real funny.
Maybe I got to sit and think. I got to maybe
the
chew
whole
on it a little bit.
situation is just it's comical. And it's okay. So the only difference between him and the guy we were talking about last week, the Dallas, Texas DJ, was that Bubba's still alive. It's like if Bubba would die from a drug overdose tomorrow, their stories would parallel 100%. That's it.
That's crazy. So that's what everybody. That's the big to do.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, what do the people think? Like in chat, like for real.
Well, like this chat's a little different because if this was the Bubba chat, they would all be like, yes, whatever Bubba said is right.
See, I want to look at this completely unbiased. I don't know if we're able to do that or not. I'm actually trying to think about this from a objective perspective, which admittedly is difficult. But that's odd.
I'm trying to see if anybody's got anything. He said, I could be wrong, but I think Seth was a part of podcast involving the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't know. I used to see that, but I don't see it anymore.
I met him. I think I met him a couple times. He was always nice. I don't know that dude. You know, just like he doesn't know me.
Like he was, in my opinion, he was a perfectly fine, average personality. He had he was like Fisher and Boy. He would have a couple good lines a day. Mm-hmm. So he was,
that's your gig.
And I, I would listen to Fisher and Boy sometimes, and I liked him way better than Boy. I mean, better than Fisher. But, he's not like somebody like that's going to take you to the top. He's not that caliber, and
I don't know.
And I think that's what Bubba thinks. Anybody's going to be the missing piece. But the quality of people that he has to plug in now, he got nobody. There's no.
So then why did he fire this chick?
She wasn't nothing. She was just there.
But she was.
It's good to have a woman on payroll because then you can be in there with you.
But if the guy she was dating had taken $250,000, like
not that part is not okay. So you give in first place not prosecution. That's a giant red flag
from somebody who wants
everybody prosecuted, everybody to fail, and then you have not only is he not prosecuting, but he's letting that person's girlfriend stay on. And I don't know. I never hear listen to the show. Does he treat her well or does he treat her like shit? I don't know. I mean, he treated Tara like shit. That was hey, you're going to treat your sister like shit. Should you really do it? Yeah, I'm doing it. Fuck you, Manson. And then he treated her like shit, and she lasted like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months.
Look, I'll pull this up. In fact, hold on, because I want you to read this, because I don't think it's, I don't want to, it's not anything bad, but I also am not a huge fan of like reading people's messages that are private out loud. That's not, it's just not me.
I understand that.
But this,
as long if it's innocuous.
Yeah, this just doesn't, like, it's not bad. It didn't, now it's all making sense is what I'm saying. So hold on, let me I did 2 screenshots. Can you read that?
Oh, that's tiny, man. It's tiny. It's tiny. All right, I got that. I can read that. Okay.
Is it making sense so far? You doing okay?
Yeah, there's another screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is interesting. Okay. Oh shit! No, I got it.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Pick pieces. That's weird. That's weird. Why? I mean.
Well, now that
GopUI.
Now that you're, yeah, I know, right?
GopUI knob.
Yeah. Now that you're telling me, now that I'm learning all this, I'm kind of putting some pieces together, but I got to tell you, it's not quite enough pieces for me to care. I can't.
Yeah. Best to just.
I got a life.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even talk about it unless the listeners brought it up, and I really don't plan on talking about it again, and I don't really care. It's just.
But at the same time, it's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Why wouldn't you? If you got the guy 200, if somebody were to take $250,000 from you, what are you going to
do? Sue the hell out of him. Prosecute him.
Some sort of restitution or something, right? Like that's the whole. I don't.
It's fascinating, and and he's like down to a cult following now that like they just believe everything he says, and they never won't. And it's like, You know,
nothing in that world is as it seems. That's just the reality. That's the reality.
That's the way it's always been.
Yeah.
And then that's the way it always will be. And I guess it'll get more bizarre as, you know, as the spiral gets closer to the drain, it starts to get faster. So the craziness will get even more.
Crazier than $250,000?
It's going to get a lot weirder. So now I don't even know who's got in there now. He's got Lummy in there. Lummy. Do you think that show is going to be on Howard 101 with the Bubba and Lummy show back in the day? I don't think that would have made it. I don't think it would have made it.
I'm taking a different stance. I hope so. I'm taking a different stance on it.
Very Christianly of you.
It's not that. It's just it doesn't. I don't know. I can't seem to care.
No, I don't care. It's fun to talk. I find it very enjoyable to talk about.
Yeah, it's a weird
but
dichotomy.
I don't care.
Because it's like you don't care, but yeah, that's funny and interesting. But I also, knowing how that whole work and the shoot thing is, I just, what's your honest opinion? You think a work or a shoot?
In some manner, it's a work. It's hard to figure out. There's a lot of angles it could be, but it certainly isn't just what he's saying, because he would definitely prosecute somebody if he could for stealing $250,000 from him.
He's trying to do things to people for less. I mean, remember the DUI setup? Like, that guy went out of his way to try to set up an attorney with a honeypot deal and all this stuff.
An entire law firm was disbanded. 200 people lost their jobs over that.
Over an MJ lawsuit that the company was covering your legal bills for, right? But you personally get $250,000 personally. And that's cool. All good.
I can't believe that the trial was allowed to continue.
What a kangaroo court.
Well, I mean, when the defendant's lawyers set up the other lawyer to get arrested for a DUI, and the judge is like, we're going to reconvene tomorrow, and then go on with the trial like nothing. When as soon as they bailed that guy out of jail that they honeypotted.
And they had sensitive documents, all like the court documents in the briefcase, which I think was not part of, that wasn't supposed to be part of the plan. He happened to leave. Remember, he happened to leave the briefcase
that should have messed up the plan. They should have.
I think it did.
Mistrial, but that judge was probably in on it,
bro. That's
the judicial system is a complete word.
It's such a word.
It's who you know.
Like, you can go back to the Hogan trial, right? Like, I knew that was a kangaroo court from the second she said, "Yeah, you're allowed to wear your bandana in here, sir." In what fucking world? When does it, have you ever in your life seen anybody else in a courtroom be able to wear a bandana?
It was a formal bandana. Formal bandana.
That's when I was like, well, this thing's toast. I mean, clearly we know which direction this is going to get skewed in. Like, there's predictability to certain things.
Yep.
I feel like this might fall into that category. What's Donna think? Does she know about this?
About this?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about the same things about how it's completely fake.
So because she's got a good mind for stuff.
Yeah. But like you said, it doesn't bother me. I don't care.
It's just weird.
I don't care. And it's
just
like
weird.
If like he got this huge deal tomorrow, I would be going, "Oh, fuck that guy. I wish he didn't get that big gig." And then I go about my life. I don't really care. I'd be like, "Oh, fuck him." But it'd take me about 10 seconds to get over it. I don't care. I don't care.
That's a nasty orbit to be in, and apparently it still is. It's a weird orbit.
Fascinating how this story will end.
What do you want to do? Should I respond to this?
Why don't you? I mean, you respond to her and see what she says to see if she digs her hole any deeper.
Because I don't care. Because I don't care about her hole.
But is it legit, or is it? This is all a work, and for some reason, they're trying to. I don't know. Get something from you. I don't know.
I don't want to be involved.
I know.
I'm so pass it along to you if you want.
I don't know if I want it.
That's the thing. I'm kind of. I don't think I want anything to do with. I don't want anything to do with anything.
It's not a hot potato. It's a hot turd. Nobody wants this hot turd. Everything involved with that show is a hot turd. And I don't really have the stomach for it anymore.
So let's pass.
I believe so.
Yeah. All right. Pass.
So we'll pass.
All right.
We'll move along. We'll move along.
That's it.
It's the hang with my. We're supposed to be hanging.
All right.
Not reliving this nightmare scenario.
Blitz. Oh yeah, I think he's got pictures. I think is what it goes. There was something. There was some sort of. I don't want to say it right now because I don't want it to. I don't want to. Yeah. But there was something. Yeah.
Tommy Bernhardt says, "I believe it's all the work to get Spice hemmed up on something." As Navy says,
I go with that one.
As Navy says, Blitz is definitely watching. Conspiracy Theory Storytime says, "Don't pass. It's entertaining."
But what's the entertain? Like it is entertaining.
Kyrock says, "Caller."
I don't a caller.
Triple H Source says, "Call Anna."
I'm not.
Then Navy says, "In my office, bro, 24-inch pythons." Triple H Sword says Phil Campbell walked free. Gangsta.
Did he walk free?
See, talk about good news. You get arrested for DUI, but you get off because it's a fucking scam. And you're not.
That's right.
There's no jury. The cop was in on it. No, there's no judge in the world who's going to take a DUI from a cop who was in on it. You're free, man.
Hold on. You know who won that case at the end? Is the cop. Because he got fired or was forced to resign or whatever, but he still got his pension. Homeboy gets paid like $72,000 a year for the rest of his life.
It's the greatest fuck up he ever did.
After being the grimiest cop on the scene,
Touché
he gets rewarded with a retirement and a pension. How this is
a microcosm of America.
It sure is.
Nice guys finish last. Dirty cops, 72 G's a year. For being a dirty cop.
Grimy.
Taking
what did
Iggy's from Lawyers.
What did the other attorney, what did Steven say? They asked him on the stand, like, who's your cell phone provider? And he was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he pled the fifth a bunch of times. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. God.
To me,
that's just, it's all so much. It's funny.
Like, just thinking, like you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
In a pretty prestigious firm, there's like 200 people. You got it going on. You got a nice house. Your whole family's successful. You're balling, and you're gonna do some shady, stupid ass, illegal trick to get the lawyer of somebody you're in a case with a DUI. It's like, what are you thinking? This is definitely a bubble plan. State government, meet me in the cafeteria. We're gonna just set up a honeypot deal. Honeypot, get that girl. The girl with the blonde hair, black hair. That's what it was. And Steve was like, yeah. What? Why would you agree to that? Why would you even think of that? To do that as an attorney?
I think because if it worked, it would have been good. Right? Like you don't if it worked.
But to I'm not doing that because I'm not going to do something that that could fucking ruin me. Like if you lose the case, it ain't that big of a deal for Stephen Diakos. He was
getting his bills paid, right? Like
that's not the case. They're gonna go on. That law firm's going on. So why are you risking everything? For this,
the whole thing.
Somebody got something on him. Everybody's got something. That whole group, everybody's got something on somebody else. I think.
But here's the rub, right? And this is a little bit different, but like with the Hogan thing, right? One of his attorneys would do this move, and they would, when you allege a complaint or file a complaint or however it goes, I don't exactly know all the terminology. I just know I kept getting served stuff. And they kept amending. They would have to amend their complaint, but the one that was originally on file is the one that everybody goes off of, right? So it's like, but it's just that's just their alleged complaint. And then some more things come out, and they amend their complaint and amend it and amend it. It got amended like don't know, 5 times. And in each one, it whittles down stuff, right? And it's like, oh, okay, well, all right. He didn't have this, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm going, but the only time people saw it was the first one, right? Like the amended complaints never get any. And then on top of it, they pull my phone records. And one of his attorneys was doing this like grimy move of going, oh, well, it appears as though you talked to Galvin at, you know, whatever time. I'm going, I've never talked to Galvin in my life on the phone. What are you talking about? Like, and they're going, oh, it has it right here in your phone records. And it's because the my co-host at the time, this guy Gio, his last name was Gavin. And they thought I was having phone calls with Galvin from Calta Show.
They can't even spell.
Bro, this is. And then they would take they would do the thing with time zones where they would purposely like mess up the time zones of the call to make it look like, well, why would you call this person at 3:30 in the morning or whatever? Yeah. And they weren't taking into account time zone. Like it was all these different.
They just use Mountain Time.
It was just like, oh, we'll go with that. Like it was so it's bad on all fronts. So I honestly try to look at things a little more objectively now. I don't know what my point is. My point is I don't think I care.
You know, it's like Kevin Hazlett said. He said, don't let these people be in charge of your life. It's best to just, you don't ever want to deal with these people. Because these people have, they do not have a care in the world for you. You're fucking dispensable. If you're dealing with a federal agency, the guy's job is to get results. And he doesn't care if he destroys your life, if he can get whatever he's supposed to get. He's just like you and me. He's trying to keep his job. And if keeping his job means fucking you over, and he's got a lot of resources to fuck you over, he will. And so it's best to just stay off everybody's radar and just live your life and not just hope you never get involved. You know, don't let these people get anywhere near you. It's like, you see, that's what they want. You don't go to the Capitol on January 6th. You see what happens.
Yep. Warning. Fair warning.
Just 50 armed guys with, you know, grenade launchers will show up at your front door in your subdivision.
I mean, I even when I had to deal with the, you know, them, the 3-letter word, I didn't even talk to them. I talked to them twice. Neither one of the times I talked to them had anything to do with what I was, alleged or whatever. Had to do with other stuff, which is even crazier.
Other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know.
It'll come out one day.
One day.
It'll come out
when your memoir.
No.
Memoir.
Hold on. I'm going to write down 2 things. It had to do with the first one.
Yeah.
And then it had to do with the second one.
The second one.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But
yeah, you know, it all comes back to, like, you know, if you just live your life decently and don't screw people over, you won't have to. You know, well, I mean, like,
dude, the last decade of my life, I just want so far removed from anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even talking about this. Like, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm sure Anna's nice. I'm sure Blitz is nice. I'm sure Seth is fine. I don't know.
No, I have no problem with any of those people.
That's the thing. Like,
no, you know, I never had a cross word with Blitz.
I never wanted to, but I'm in a place in my life or just an age or something where, like, I don't want things to get misconstrued either. But while at the same time trying to remain honest or objectively sane.
I'm thinking back to Blitz. Like, you know, he had a microphone in there. He was the engineer, and he was in the engineer behind the glass. But he would say things that usually, like, maybe only Ned would get away with. You know, he'd say things about the boss, and he'd be like, ooh. How is he getting away with that shit? Oof. Oh, he's got something on him. That's how he's getting away with that shit.
Tapes.
He's telling the truth.
Interesting.
The truth never went over well.
No.
Just, you know. Did you see the Alec Baldwin thing?
Yeah, but not in a I didn't watch it and like just kind of like saw a clip. But what exactly is it?
It's just typical stuff. Like this woman, you know, for some reason, she feels the need to accost Alec Baldwin. This looks like he's in a coffee shop or a hotel, like
so she's trolling
a continental breakfast or something, and she's trolling Alec Baldwin. And I don't know how I feel about it because he did also kill some. He did also. I mean, it's pretty irresponsible to point your gun, even if it's you don't point it at. You don't point guns at people. And he killed the girl, and he got off scot-free. I think, right?
I don't know
get off
what
scot-free. I think he got off scot-free. He might be on. They might have recharged him.
I think he did get recharged, and on top of it, he's definitely getting civilly sued. So he's definitely got he's got to pay the piper on that one.
He'll lose that because he's rich.
He's
and
probably got some umbrella policy anyways.
Yeah, and he killed somebody, so the jury's going to say you got to pay.
Yeah,
even though you're Alec Baldwin,
it'll be a healthy settlement.
It's not. He's not going to jail. See, people like they ruled against OJ in the civil trial, but they weren't going to send the juice to jail. Sending the juice. How shitty was Marsha Clark? Well, you can't fucking win that case.
Public.
You can't fucking win that case.
Prosecutor.
Fuck. Dream Team got her.
Gift wrapped.
Here's the notorious Alec Baldwin.
Alec, can you please say Free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? You killed that lady and got no jail time? No jail time, Alec? No jail time, Alec.
See, I'm torn because part of me is like, he did kill that. He did kill that lady, but it's also like this woman's just doing it for fucking clicks.
She's doing it for clicks, yeah. And furthermore, she's going no jail time. Like that's not his decision. I mean, who wants to go and get jail time, right? Like
I'm not looking to do. I'm not going to volunteer. I'm pleading guilty.
Right.
I'll take the 20 years.
And if he only got sent, let's say he did 90 days in jail, she would do the same thing, and she'd go, only 90 days in jail? If he did a year. You killed that woman in only 1 year in jail? Like, it wouldn't matter. She's already got her agenda set up.
Yeah.
For clicks, like you said.
So I don't like either party involved
yes.
in this altercation.
Alec, you're putting innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin. I'm so sorry. Free Palestine, Alec, just one time, and I'll leave you alone.
See, Alec, he's getting older. He's mellowed. He's going to take a lot more than he used to. He's going to take a lot more to get Alec to snap.
I'll leave you alone. I swear. Just say Free Palestine one time. One time. One time.
Call the police.
One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a fucking criminal. Come on, Alec. Just say Free Palestine one time.
Why's he got to say Free Palestine?
I don't know.
What does he have to do with Israel or Alec Baldwin?
This is where the general public, since they can record a celebrity or whatever and do whatever, and then they can get posted online for clicks and monetary value or whatever it is. It's not a legit. Like if she had a good heart,
she don't give a shit.
If she at least had an inkling of like journalism or going, hey, here's what I'm angling for, but there's none of that. It's it's not thought out.
This is, I mean, hey, maybe we should be complimenting this woman because she's getting clicks.
That's true.
She's working smart.
Yes,
she's getting clicks. Maybe
so right.
We need to change my. I just want to do a good show, and I don't want to harass anybody. But hey, maybe this woman knows how to work.
One time, just one time, please, and I'll leave you alone. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel. Fuck Zionism. Please say it.
Hey, look, he's being very patient.
She is hateable.
One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
And then he
there's the old Baldwin snap.
There's there's the no look snap. The patented Alec Baldwin
no look snap.
No, Patrick Mahomes no look snap. Bravo, Alec. Bravo.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Oh, that's the best.
He gives it just a little corner of the left eye peak.
One time.
Oh yeah.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Alec, can you please?
Never mind. I'm back into this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of you back in Alex's corner.
Yeah.
One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Oh, the left eye peak. Left eye, and bam! Oh, that's a pretty good. That's a quick reaction for an old man.
Alec, can you please?
For real. And I mean, that thing had been building for a minute. You know what I mean? So
he's a lot of patience. He couldn't take it, though. He couldn't take it.
He's got a fiery temper to begin with. Having to deal with that for a minute, that has got to be the most... That's got to be annoying as hell to a guy like Alec Baldwin.
I would hate it if people were doing it. But then again, I'm not going to shoot a woman in the face. Alan from Jacksonville, 100 bits. Thank you, Alan from Jacksonville. Woo! Appreciate it.
Thank you, Alan from Jacksonville.
Oh, my God, I'm exhausted.
Oh, what do we have in the chat?
I'm exhausted.
I know, right? It's already been 2 hours. Imagine that.
I mean, yeah, I didn't, and we spent a whole hour on that. I wasn't even planning to talk on that. I'm gonna.
I don't know what to say about it other than
it's just funny. It's just funny. We find it amusing. We don't care. And then there's 17 different possibilities of what the real truth is, and then the real truth is anything but the real story that you were allegedly given, but people will still believe it.
Well, has the Blitz guy said anything about it? I mean,
he signed a what do you call it? NDA.
You think?
Yeah. Or
or he's currently signing one.
There could be a million things. I can't even tell you that.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on. All I know is it's not what they say, and if you believe, it's never been what he says. It was never like later on. I found out a lot of things later that I was like, oh, I just believe what the boss told me, and whatever he told me was complete bullshit.
Saw you coming.
I mean, it was a great. My philosophy was, well, we always seem to, to do good and rise above, and we get fired, we get hired again, and that worked great until it didn't, and it didn't work at all. What do we? Hey, Bubba. Before I leave today, I just want to ask you: it's like, what's the plan for next year, Bubba? I don't know, Cuzzy. I don't know. That's when I should have left. That's when I should have left.
I give you this credit card.
I should.
Here's the plan.
If only I'd have a BRN credit card, I'd be retired right now.
No mortgage, all your groceries, whatever else was.
Could charge $500,000, and
bro, that's
BRN accounting ain't even looking at that for 5 years.
Even, how hard are they balling over there? Good God, man.
Signing checks.
If I lost the $250,000, I'd be like, hey, I think something's wrong here.
What's the PayPal bill? That's my $300,000. Pay it.
I didn't know he had it. He's like Diddy, just balling out.
Diddy. Maybe he will be like Diddy, and one day we'll see 50 federal troops storming his duplex, where I think he lives now. It's not nice. I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize.
Yeah.
Right now, Todd. I didn't mean to take a cheap shot at you.
Oh, don't call him Todd.
We had a lot of good times, buddy. Let's just let bygones be bygones.
Yes.
How about them apples?
Sure.
I ain't looking for trouble. I ain't looking for no trouble.
I'm looking for $250,000.
Man, I should have gotta get a company. All I had to do is ask for a company credit card. I'm not going to use it. Just tell them that. Might use it for gas once a month or something. Then just like,
shopping spree.
$300,000 later. Man. Manson, I don't want to ruin your life. I'm not going to prosecute you. And I'm going to forgive the $300,000 debt. I knew you would, Todd. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
Hit us up. Download us on Spotify and Google Podcasts and everywhere.
Everywhere.
The Hang.
The Hang. And, thanks for hanging with us live. We appreciate the live hang.
We doing a little VIP?
We're going to do a little VIP next, because we want to hang some more. And you can hang some more on the VIP section of clusterfshow.com. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Had a good time. Take